Neil Sean here on Your Entertainment News. Today we find out truly whether I get an American no. But remember though, Rupert,
if you miss it, you miss out.
So don't miss Rupert today on Your Entertainment News. How did you first meet and what was the connection?
Well, there was no connection. I knew one of her ladies in waiting, a wonderful lady called Anne Tennant, and she invited me along once, and it didn't go very well, to be honest. I was much too wrapped up in myself. I thought everyone was meant to be lighting my cigarette, and I noticed at one point she had a cigarette there, and everyone was waiting for me to get the lighter and light it, but I hadn't really been kind of trained up for that, and so I did it finally, and she called me Leggy, and she said, "Come on, Leggy," and we went to see a play. It was a thriller. And she said, she was very nice. I mean, I think there's something very touching about Princess Margaret. And anyway, I remember we went to the little room in the theatre to have drinks in the interval, and there was a little loo off it, and I went to have a pee, and I couldn't go. I was too nervous because I heard it go rah, 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 on the other side of the door. And she kept saying, "Come on, Leggy, we're going back." And so I didn't manage to have a pee. So I went back for the second half, absolutely desperate to pee. And that was really it. Nothing happened. But I love her. And I think the story of her, for example, in Moustique, when she stepped into the boiling bath, is such very, very tragic. And I think she was such a beautiful young girl. Yeah. And life dealt her a series of, very difficult blows in a way. And I think she's a very romantic character. Yeah,
I mean, I don't think her story has ever really been told in the way it should be, because I think it must have been very difficult for her, for everybody really, with the train of events, what happened. And suddenly she's now, what is her role in life? She's stunning and she's beautiful.
And also making a marriage, people make marriages, so I think her marriage must have been a psychological disaster for her, because once he started kind of ridiculing her, which he obviously did, and he was so smooth and chic and fast moving and things that she wasn't. She was kind of like the Red Queen from Alice in Wonderland. Yeah. Like, boom, boom, boom. She didn't have that flexibility to move into kind of the orgy circle that he might have moved into, and I think he put her down a lot. Yeah. And I think that must have been very destructive to her, really. Yeah, yeah. And I think it's like what you were saying. I mean, you got yourself in trouble a couple of maybe a year back now about Prince Harry's book and his, how should we say, his first meeting of romance, I think would be the kindest thing, And, I mean, I believe your version because, we know how people rewrite their books, yeah? But Prince Harry then came out and sort of had to go back, didn't he? And sort of said, well, how would he know he's not there? Oh, did he? Yes. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, it's in print, yeah. Oh, really? And I just kind of thought, but you said you felt sorry for him in some respects. What was the... Is that a similar thing? I don't feel very sorry for him. No, actually, I think. Well, yeah, I do feel. I think he's a little bit of a victim of a relationship too. I think it seems to me that it was not a great relationship to go into for him. Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Because the unlike what I call normal people, when we meet the royals, and you've been lucky enough to do it, they're guided by people that probably have other interests, for themselves. And then you've got to work out who the real people are. And it's a bit like the world of theatre or entertainment. You meet these people, they're a bunch of sharks. The agent wants 20%, the manager wants 20%, and then, once you're no longer in vogue, you can go, because we've got the next guy, and he's now hot and all this sort of stuff. And I think, in a sense, the royals' world is very similar. It must be quite hard, I think. Yeah, no, I do feel sorry for him, because I think it would have been much nicer for him to have stayed within his fold, actually, in the end. Much more supporting for him, in a way.